Okay people, it's Sunday morning and I couldn't resist the urge to sneak into work and fit the new winter boots. So I'm going to lift this thing up, put them on and maybe go for a little test drive in the snow. Okay, with a coffee to get me started, I'm going to start loosening all the nuts off. And they are absolutely huge. I've just got a 27mm socket to fit on here. It's probably in Imperial, but 27 will be fine. So I'll go around all four wheels, loosen them up, and then I'll jack the car up, take them off. Jeez. God damn, these are tight. I think I need a bigger breaker bar. Okay, so I just went to get a slightly bigger breaker bar, so hopefully this will have the leverage to get these off. Let's see. If not, I can put an extension bar on this. When loosening nuts like this, it's always best to put your weight pushing down to loosen them up, because if you're having it this way and trying to loosen, it's not good for, obviously, for your back, and you could tear a muscle or something. So it's always a good idea to use your body weight to loosen them. I guess I don't have enough body weight, do I? This might take some time. Damn, this is not looking good, is it? There we go, one. Okay, that's one wheel loosened. Maybe we'll just do one at a time. Okay, that's quite lucky. Things don't normally go this smoothly, but I wasn't planning to lift the Land Rover with the lift that I have under it because I didn't think it would line up. But it actually lines up perfectly with the chassis rails, so I just threw some blocks of wood under there so I can lift the whole car and change 4 tyres in one go. That one was loose. Oh my God, this whole wheel is loose. That's lucky. To the other side. Can't believe these 2 front wheels are loose. Another thing you can do, obviously, if your nuts are really tight, is to lubricate them with some rusty rear or WD-40, something like that. You should let this soak in for a little while, but I ain't got time for that. When you're changing your tyres, it's always a good idea to inspect the drum or the disc, whatever you're running, to make sure that the surface is clear of any rust or anything like that, because it can cause an imbalance in the rotation of the wheel. And also the same thing applies to the wheel itself. So I normally just go over these with a wire brush. Also with the studs, I like to use a bit of copper grease on there, and that avoids them being too hard to undo like these were. Don't know why the front ones were loose. Maybe somebody's done something to the brakes, a previous owner, and not tightened them up, but luckily for me they didn't fall off. It's good to note that there is an orientation of the nuts. It has like a chamfer on there which fits inside the lug of the wheel. So simple stuff really. Time for some copper paste. You don't need much of this stuff. So I actually have 4 of the same tyres, but I think maybe they could be different years because they have slightly different tread. So they're the same size, which is quite important on a 4-wheel drive, but I'm running in 2-wheel drive most of the time. So one thing you have to look out for when fitting your tyres is some tyres have a rotation on them, as you can see with the arrows. So they obviously need to go on the correct side. So as you can see, same brand tyres, they're Nokian, they're the same size, same model by the writing on the side, but the tread is slightly different. So I think I'm going to put these on the back because they look a bit more beef, and I'll put these on the front. As you can see, we run these studded tyres here in Finland. You can run both, you can run them with or without. I really like the studs still because they're really good for the ice. It's also an ideal opportunity when you're changing your tyres to check everything underneath here. You know, if you have disc brakes, you can check the condition of your discs, how worn the pads are, etc. Any cracks, anything broken, anything missing. Check your brake lines, check everything's tight, you know, that kind of thing. Just go through everything. And also could be an ideal opportunity if you have like these type of ball joints that have a bleed nipple on the top. Now would be a good opportunity to put grease in. On further inspection, I noticed that this brake line is actually, I think it's like the outside casing. It has like this braided sheath on there that's a bit worn, looks like it's rubbed on something, so I'm going to change those in a later episode. And also, I don't like this either. This should have a split pin in it. I mean, it's all rusted up now, so that's probably not going anywhere, but it's supposed to have a split pin in, so I'm going to change that just for peace of mind. I'm also going to add a few more cable ties to this because it looks a bit like a bird's nest. There's some corrosion up here as well, you can see. But this is only like this isn't structural, it's just like a stone guard or mud guard inner fender, so that's no biggie smalls. It was the same the other side. There was a bolt instead of a split pin. I tidied up the wiring a little bit, but I also found a rust hole actually on the top of the chassis on this side, so that's something I'm going to have to do at the later date. Oh my God, I love this Land Rover so much. How cool does that look with these tyres on? It's the simple things that create so much joy. Right, let's tighten the nuts up. Okay, on wheel nuts and most nuts there is a torque setting, and I've never used them on wheel nuts, to be honest. Probably should, but I just normally do them tight, and I've never had a wheel fall off. I'm not saying you should do this. Maybe you should tighten them up to the torque specifications, but I kind of know what's too tight and what's too loose. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these bad boys up. And remember, tighten them opposites. So I've just done this one. We're going to go opposite here. Tight, opposite. You get the idea. So there we go. Obviously put your handbrake on and put it in gear before you tighten them up. On to the next. Right, so after lowering it on the ground and throwing the old tyres in the back and putting a strap on, I think it'd be rude not to take it for a test drive, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? I think it would, wouldn't it? Well, that was an interesting test drive. I went sideways, I got stuck, all sorts. I did wonder if it was the tyre pressure, but I checked them and it's running about 35 psi. Anyway, it's about -12 right now. I don't have gloves, I can't feel my fingers, but the sunset is beautiful. Look at that. Anyway, people, until next time, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe and all that jazz. See you soon.